Rob Geo 0407L presents Musical Synopsis Fridays. Ep.11, Hamilton.
What is it all about?
Hamilton is a musical with music, lyrics, and book by Lin-Manuel Miranda. It is inspired by the 2004 biography Alexander Hamilton by historian Ron Chernow. The musical tells the story of American founding father Alexander Hamilton through music that draws heavily from hip-hop, as well as R&B, pop, solo, and traditional style show tunes. The show also incorporates color-conscious casting of non-white actors as the founding fathers and other historical figures. Through this use of modern storytelling methods, Hamilton has been described as being about America then as told by America now. The show premiered at the Public Theater Off-Broadway on February 17, 2015, where its engagement was sold out. It won 8 Drama Desk Awards, including Outstanding Musical. It then transferred to the Richard Rodgers Theater on Broadway, opening on August 6, 2015, where it received uniformly positive reviews and strikingly high box office sales. At the 2016 Tony Awards, Hamilton received a record-setting 16 nominations, eventually winning 11 awards, including Best Musical. It received the 2016 Pulitzer Prize for Drama. The Chicago production of Hamilton began preview performances at the CIBC Theater in September 2016 and officially opened the following month. The West End production of Hamilton opened at the Victoria Palace Theatre in London in December 2017, winning 7 Olivier Awards in 2018, including Best New Musical. The first U.S. national tour of the show began performances in March 2017. A second U.S. tour opened in February 2018. Hamilton's third U.S. tour began January 11, 2019, with a 3-week engagement in Puerto Rico featuring Miranda in the lead role.
Act 1.
The orphan Alexander Hamilton leaves his home on the island of Nevis. After arriving in New York in 1776, Hamilton meets Aaron Burr, John Laurens, Marquis de Lafayette, and Hercules Mulligan, and impresses them with his rhetorical skills. They affirm their revolutionary goals to each other. Meanwhile, wealthy sisters Angelica, Eliza, and Peggy Schuyler go into town seeking out potential suitors. Samuel Seabury warns everyone about the dangers of Congress, but Hamilton disagrees and tries to counter Seabury. King George then insists on his authority. During the New York and New Jersey campaign, Hamilton accepts a position as George Washington's aide-de-camp instead of field command. At Philip Schuyler's ball, Hamilton meets, falls in love with, and later marries Eliza Schuyler, as Angelica suppresses her feelings for the sake of their happiness at the wedding. After the wedding, Burr congratulates Hamilton on his position as aide-de-camp to Washington. Hamilton confesses that he would much rather have Burr's position on the battlefield. Burr reflects on Hamilton's swift rise while considering his own career as more cautious. As conditions worsen for the Continental Army, Hamilton aids Laurens in a duel against Charles Lee, who insulted Washington. Laurens injures Lee, who in turn yields. Hamilton is temporarily suspended by Washington over the duel and is sent home. There, Eliza reveals that she is pregnant with her first child, and asks Hamilton to slow down to take in what has happened in their lives. After Lafayette convinces France to get involved on the colonists' side, he urges Washington to call Hamilton back to help plan the final siege of Yorktown. Washington agrees but explains to Hamilton, who is convinced he should die a martyr and a hero in war, that he should be careful with his actions because whatever he does will be known for ages to come. At the siege of Yorktown, Hamilton meets up with Lafayette to take down the British, revealing that Mulligan was recruited as a spy, helping them figure out what to do to trap the British and win the war. Soon after the victory at Yorktown, King George asks the rebels how they will succeed in governing on their own. Hamilton's son Philip is born, while Burr has a daughter, Theodosia, and the two tell their children how they will do anything to protect them. Hamilton receives word that his friend Laurens has been killed in a seemingly pointless battle after the war has won and throws himself into his work. He co-authors the Federalist Papers and is selected as Secretary of the Treasury by newly elected President Washington. Eliza begs Hamilton to stay. Angelica moves to London with her new husband.
Act 2.
Thomas Jefferson returns to America from being the U.S. ambassador to France. In 1789, Jefferson and Hamilton debate the latter's financial proposals at a cabinet meeting. Washington pulls Hamilton aside and tells him to figure out a compromise to win over Congress. Eliza and her family, along with Angelica back from London, travel upstate during the summer, while Hamilton stays home to work on the compromise. Hamilton begins an affair with Maria Reynolds, making him vulnerable to her husband's blackmail. Hamilton, Jefferson, and James Madison create the Compromise of 1790 over a private dinner, exchanging Hamilton's financial plan for placing the country's permanent capital on the Potomac River. Burr is envious of Hamilton's sway in the government and wishes he had a similar power. Burr switches political parties and defeats Philip Schuyler, making Hamilton now a rival. In another cabinet meeting, Jefferson and Hamilton argue over whether the United States should assist France in its conflict with Britain. President Washington ultimately agrees with Hamilton's argument for remaining neutral. In the wake of this, Jefferson, Madison, and Burr decide to join forces to find a way to discredit Hamilton in Washington's eyes. Washington decides to retire from the presidency, and Hamilton assists in writing a farewell address. King George receives word that George Washington will be replaced by John Adams. John Adams becomes the second president and fires Hamilton, who publishes an inflammatory critique of the new president as a response. In the face of accusations of speculation of government funds by Jefferson, Madison, and Burr, and out of fear that his affair with Maria Reynolds will be used against him in his political career, Hamilton chooses to publicize his affair in the Reynolds pamphlet, damaging his relationship with Eliza. Philip, instructed by Hamilton, challenges George Ecker to a duel and is critically injured and dies, causing a reconciliation between Alexander and Eliza. Hamilton's endorsement of Jefferson in the presidential election of 1800 results in further animosity between Hamilton and Burr, who challenges Hamilton to a duel via an exchange of letters. Hamilton writes his last letter in a rush while Eliza tells him to go back to bed. Burr and Hamilton travel to New Jersey for the duel. During the duel, both Burr and Hamilton fire at each other after 10 paces, with Hamilton intentionally missing his shot. Hamilton dies as a result, with Eliza and Angelica at his side. Burr laments that even though he survived, he is cursed to be remembered as the villain who killed Hamilton. The musical closes with a reflection on historical memory, showing how Eliza kept Hamilton's legacy alive.
The end.
Hey there guys, Robert here. I just want to thank you all so much for watching episode 11 of Musical Synopsis Fridays. If you haven't done so yet, please smash that like button, subscribe to this channel, and tap the bell icon to get notified so you don't miss a new video from me, as we're on the road to 3,000 subs. And again, I would like to thank you all so much for watching this episode, and I'll see you all in the next video. Peace!